My name is Dr. Jeff Dworak. I'm a dentist in Bellevue, Nebraska. I have a medium-sized practice with 32 employees and 5 dentists, and I've been in business for about 16 years. Straight out of school, I bought a practice from one of my instructors. Most people go in and they buy a practice, the dentist works for them for a while, and then they switch roles, and then they go on their merry way after like 4 years, but this was after 4 minutes. So we were probably doing $600,000 a year to $800,000 a year. We didn't have a clue what we weren't doing. I stopped coming up to the front because I didn't want to deal with little problems.
I think he was frustrated. He really, he had a vision of what he wanted to do and where he wanted to go. I feel like he didn't have necessarily the guidelines or the knowledge or the education to kind of push him that way.
And then I stumbled upon this group called the Scheduling Institute. Went to my first meeting, I was kind of intrigued. Went to my second meeting, I was hooked. I made a phone call to my wife and told her I wanted to spend $120,000. And she's not used to requests like that, so it was kind of a crazy thing, and she's freaking out on the phone. And but then I brought her to the next meeting, and then she was sold also, so it worked out really well.
Scheduling Institute really motivated him and got him excited and kind of made him realize the potential, all the things he could do. The attitude of employees changed. Everybody started working together as a team, and patients were, pleasantly surprised because they've always hated coming to the dentist, and they got a tour and they got treated like a person, and people took time to care for them and made them feel important.
Dr. Dworak is a master delegator, as we like to say, and I think for a long time he used that as an excuse maybe to not have to be in the mix so much. But since we've been with the Scheduling Institute, they've given him so many tools to make him more confident and to help him be a good leader, and then to reinforce that he is getting the results that he needs. He's really come into his own, especially the last year, and he actually came to me at one point in time, which was a little emotional. He told me how much he loved the office and how he's not been the leader that he should have been for us, and that he was ready to take on that role, and he meant it.
We were about $800,000 a year. Going 5X, we started to see the growth. We ended up at about 1.6. And at that point, we were maxed out completely in both practices. We decided to open our own building. And last year, we ended up hitting 2.9 million. And so along comes the big year, and this is a challenge that Jay Geyer has presented us with. The big year is to grow the most you could in 1 year period of time. We put leaders in place. We put a hygiene leader, front desk leaders, assistant and marketing leader, and we already had a great operations leader. Everything was dependent on her, and that was very stressful. Now she has this leadership group, and we set that up right before the big year. We signed up for the quarterly meetings. That was incredible because now everybody's on the same page. They know what we're looking for, they know the vision, they know the future, they know what we're trying to accomplish, and we're all on the same page.
This year, we really owned the impact diagram, and I think because of where we are in our leadership evolution, it meant so much more to everyone, personally, and then for the patients, and then the office as well. We're doing the things that we've said we were going to do, and that's the part that's mostly exciting for us. We've created overall a much more friendly experience for our patients. We've done more with our patients. We've been able to do more with charity. It was basically our confession to each other, about it was us promising each other that we were going to do the things that we said we were going to do.
We were going to give away a car, and so we bought a Kia Soul, we wrapped it, drove it around for that whole year, and the giveaway was going to be in the middle of the big year, and that was an incredible thing to have going on this year because it was all about developing referrals and creating fun about the practice and doing something different.
Dr. Dworak had been wanting to do that for quite some time, and we felt like it was the big year, so let's do it, go big or go home. We actually had 200 people show up, so it was so amazing to have an event with that much participation because that's usually your biggest fear, you're gonna plan this and no one's gonna show up. So that was absolutely awesome. After that, I'm like, we got this. Like, we're invincible. Let's do this. Let's finish strong.
What was so eye-opening was how hard my staff was working. Every single person was there. Every single person was working their rear end off, and it was just, that was one of my aha moments for the year, and it just realized, God, look where we've gone. I was talking to a colleague, and she was telling me all her problems in her practice, and one of my main questions to her was, are you coming to work 100% invested? Your patients, your workers can see that if you're not. And then, when I was done with the conversation, I kind of thought to myself, am I in my bubble? Do I come to work 100% focused? And kind of at that moment, I realized maybe I'm not. Maybe I need to reevaluate how things are going.
This year definitely has been different. You can definitely tell, especially with Dr. Dwork. He's actually been really trying to be a different and better person this year, which just shows everybody that this year is different. He started to stay and talk to patients more and get to be more of their friend, more than their dentist. He's kind of taking charge and actually showing us that no, this year is different. This year is more personal, more goal-oriented, more just bigger and better that we can be as a practice.
I decided at that point I needed to be a little more intentional about myself also. I started adding workouts and eating healthier. I decided to go on a diet. I've lost 50 pounds.
Dr. Dwork and I kind of teamed up a little bit in the beginning year. We always talked about our weight loss and what we can do together, and we always just kind of chatted about like how I was doing and how he was doing. And I really, committed to it, and I lost 45 pounds, which I'm really excited about. But he jumped in and we kind of been a motivator for each other. But then he kept telling me that I was motivating him and that I was the reason why he was doing a lot of this stuff, which it touched me in a different way because I think that's what actually made me commit that I was gonna do this and I was gonna stick with it. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have done it. And I know he's changing as a person and he made me change as a person too.
I feel better. I feel more confident about speaking in front of people. I've decided to be more intentional with my family and my friends, and kind of changed who I am. The big year has been an eye-opener. It showed us things that we didn't know we could even do, and I really wholeheartily believe that it's made my job easier. It's made my team's job easier. The future is bright. The Scheduling Institute has really got me there, and I'm really happy with the way where things are going, and with this team that I have, we can accomplish anything together.
Because we're trying to reach this big goal, to come together as a team, and you can feel, it's just not just a team, it's a friendship at our office. We have a lot of people and a lot of close friendships because of it. It's like family. Because we do it not so much just for ourselves, but we do it for one another. And so that's huge, that's really huge in a big group like we are. And I think that's really an aha moment for everybody.
This year, basically, we spent the whole time teaching us how to do it. Now that we know the secret sauce, the formula, now we can do it over and over and over again. Once you do something, doesn't it always seem easier when you try to do it again and do it again? And so I'm hoping that from this big year, that every year becomes a big year, and a bigger year, and a bigger year, and a bigger year. And it becomes easier and easier for my staff to be able to complete that.